All right, chapter 1 test, multiple choice. Let's bust this out so you can see what you did wrong and hopefully either do better on the retake or not make the same mistake later on in the course. So here we go. Number 1, they give me the entire distance is 22. They give me the short piece is 12. Subtract those two numbers. I get an answer of 10. Number 2, find GI. Well, we got to find some missing pieces. So ultimately, G to I is going to be these two sections added together. So I need him first. So I look at, I'm given this 15. So all of this is 15. This is 8. So I need to do 15 take away 8 is 7. So that gives me that piece. And now to get from G to I, 7 plus 3 is going to give me 10. Moving right along. Number 3 and number 4, same idea, but we're doing some algebra. So the total distance is 9, and the short piece plus the other piece should total up to be 9. I gather like terms, so I have 3 x's. I have a minus 17 and a minus 4, which is minus 21, equals 9. Add 21 to both sides, you get 3x equals 30. Divide, divide, and you get x equals 10. And we want solve for x. Wow, 10, 10, 10, first 3 answers. Classify each angle as acute, obtuse, right, or straight. Well, this angle is less than 90 degrees, so it is an acute angle. Number 5, this angle is greater than 90. So when you are greater than 90 degrees, you are called obtuse. Remember, right angle equals 90, straight angle equals 180. Then acute is less, obtuse is more. Find BML. So find BML. So we're looking for this angle right here, which is one of the two pieces. NMB is this small angle over there. And NML is the whole thing. So the whole thing right there is 170. So we should be able to do 170 subtract 30. Correct answer, D. All right. Number 7 and number 8. Number 7, YVW is 104. And UVY is 36. Give us UVW, which is the entire thing, so we add those together, 140. Number 8, we got some algebra on this one. YKL, YKL, x plus 86. JKY, JKY, x plus 38. And then the big dog, J to K to L, all of that together is 120. So we set up our algebra. I'm going to add these two expressions together. I'm going to do this in one step. X plus x is 2x. The 86 plus the 38 is 124. And the whole thing needs to be 120. So I subtract 124 from both sides. I get 2x equals negative 4. Divide by 2, and I get x equals negative 2. Now, that's not the angle. If I put negative 2 in, that's going to give me actually 84 degrees. If I put negative 2 in here, I'll get 36 degrees, and together it works out. 9 and 10. TSR, $1.64. That's the whole thing, 164. TSK is 121 plus x. And KSR is x plus 67. Again, I need to add these two angles together. So an x plus an x is a 2x. A 121 and a 67 gives me 188. And that should equal the big angle. Subtract 188 from both sides, and we go negative. Looks like negative 24. Divide by 2. Bam, negative 12. Name the relationship. Well, these two angles are next door neighbors, so they're adjacent, but they do form a straight line. So they are known as a linear pair. 11 and 12. Number 11, these two angles are across from each other on the x. Those are called vertical angles. They're equal to each other. Number 12, these two are just next door neighbors. They share a common side, but they don't add up to anything special, so they're simply called adjacent. Keep on going. Number 13, these two angles, actually, we have the little box here that shows that they add up to 90 degrees. So they are known as complementary, add up to 90. Now we need to set up some algebra. Well, because these two angles are complementary, or they add up to 90, a couple different ways you could do this. If this angle is 52, 90 minus 52 is 38. So that means this angle over here has to be 38. So I could set up some algebra to find out what x is going to make that come out to be 38. Subtract 4 from both sides, you get 34. Divide both sides by 2, and x is 17. That will make it come out to be 38. All right, 15 and 16. Two angles that form a linear pair, they got to add up to 180. So I'm going to do 180 minus 139. I get 41. So this angle over here needs to come out to be 41. So when is x minus 28 going to equal 41? Add 28 to both sides. X equals 69. Number 16, find the midpoint. Well, to find the midpoint, I need to use the endpoints. This endpoint is at left 5, up 1. This point is at right 2, down 3. And remember, these are x's and these are y's. And we're simply going to average the x's and we're going to average the y's. So I'm going to average the x's. Negative 5 plus the other x. So I did him plus him. And chop it in half. That's negative 3 divided by 2. That's a negative 1.5. Now for the y values, 1 plus a negative 3 divided by 2. Well, that's a negative 2 divided by 2, which is negative 1. So that should be my midpoint. Let's just verify. Left 1.5, down 1. Oh man, that looks good. Correct answer here is D. Moving right along, number 17, number 18. So number 17 says find the distance or the length of this piece. Some of these answers here are kind of crazy, so they don't even make sense. Like it can't be 1 square long. Probably can't even be 3 square long. But let's actually figure out what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a right triangle. I'm going to create some legs. So I'm going to draw a leg, and that's 4. It's when it's vertical, you can just count the blocks. Horizontally, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I can use the Pythagorean theorem. Let's just call this C. So the Pythagorean theorem says 4 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. And I'm going to take the square root of both sides, and that will simply tell me what C is. And 4 squared is 16 plus 36, so that's the square root of 52, which comes out to be approximately 7.2. So the correct answer is A. Number 18, the end point and the midpoint, and we need to find the other end. There are a lot of ways to do it. You could use fancy algebra, but I like to kind of go this route. So I say, well, if this is an end and this is the middle, from 1 to negative 6, well, it looks like I minus 7. So I need to minus 7 again. Negative 6 minus 7 is negative 13. Well, right away, there's only one answer that has an x at negative 13. So I probably on a real test wouldn't even do the y's, but we'll just do it to check it out. To get from negative 7 to 0, I added 7. And if I add 7 again from 0, that's going to give me 7, which shows up right there. So the correct answer is E.